Tales Podcast is a part of the Connected Podcast Network. Chef. Yes, Glio. Don't you love how we get to share our stories and recipes? Yes, I enjoy it greatly. Do you know what makes it possible for everyone to hear us? Yes, Glio. Our voices, obviously. True, but it's also Anchor, a hosting platform that distributes the podcast to places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and others. Oh, yes. And isn't everything needed to make a podcast in one place? That's correct. And the best thing of all, Chef, it's free. Free, you say? Free. And all I had to do is download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. So, you just had to download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Yep. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and do what we're doing now. Fantastic, Grio. Simply fantastic. I know, Chef. I know.
Hello and welcome. I'm Aman Mazingo, and this is the AfroTales Podcast, a show that will explore the folklore, tales, myths, and legends of the African diaspora. Okay, so today's story, we are going to the southeast? I don't know how people consider it. Southeast. North Carolina, South Carolina, the Gullah countries, the Gullah area is where we're heading today. And we are going to dive into a nightmarish story. I hope you enjoy today's story. Most of us know about it. Most of us have heard it. Most of us have experienced it. Well, I'll see you on the other side. That old Boo Hag. I can't get sleep to come to bed with me no more. If and when I do drop off, it don't feel very natural. I dream that every morning Crow comes into my pea patch and takes every single pea away in his beak. I can see my eats leaving the house with nobody's hand touching them. I see my poor mother. She so restless in the grave. I see so many things like that. There won't be any snoring good with Boo Hag all the time riding me. I was a youngin' the first time Boo Hag rode me. I suspect some jealous girl put the hag up to it. Some young woman didn't like the young men come courting me because I was so pretty. And she wasn't nothing much to look at. One boy she liked cared for me best. And so this girl put the hag on me. One evening, Boo Hag come to see me. I was ready for bed early, for I was younger then. Halfway up the stairs, this green light comes. Swoosh. And a burst all in my eyes. Then it turns into a red light. I can see this awful raggedy looking thing coming up the stairs behind me. That she thing has a big head, like a barrel, with bloody red light shining out her eyes. My mouth is open to scream, but I can't yell a thing. So I moan some. It's all I can do. And my dear mother heard me. She come over to the landing. She says to me, "Macy, what's wrong? What's the matter?" I tried to answer, but something had my jaw locked up. Couldn't even turn around and look at her. She knew there was something that mattered with me. "Musta played with bad girls again," she said. Couldn't say nothing back to her. My mouth was just so closed up. That's what Boo Hag did to me. Made me speechless. And that hag rode me. And I like to die. Got real thin. She rode me so many late nights. Just like I was some broomstick she rode, or some skinny nightmare. A whole month of nights. And I couldn't sleep a wink. That's how Boo Hag did me. And scared me so. And in that night riding, I see all kinds of bad things. See the devil. See Boo Daddy too. And come the day clean, I'm so sore on my back. Like somebody been beating me with a stick. My mom said to me, "Macy, I have a mind the hag is riding you, even though you can't say. I got a good way to fix the hag. Break her spell so she stay fixed too. You go to bed now, Macy. And when you wake up, you'll feel better. Real better. For true." Well, I did as my mother said. I drank the potion she gave me, and I slept sound. But it seemed I could hear and see her right by my side, where she stayed all night. And before the cock crowed, Mother saw me stirring, saw me heave as the hag got to ride me. My mother took this little bottle with a cork in it, sat there beside her feet. She took the cork out the bottle. She held the cork while she put the bottle mouth down on my stomach. Then Mother found some needles and counted 33, not one more, not one less. She lifted the bottle so quick, can't hardly see her hand. She threw one needle in the bottle, fast as lightning. And she corked that bottle and put 32 needles in the cork. This before Boo Hag knew that terrible trouble she was in. And the hag was clean gone. And stayed gone as long as I didn't give that bottle away. And when I woke up the next day clean, there was my nerve all back in me. The spell Boo Hag had over me was just melted away. Oh, did I eat some breakfast? I had a half a loaf of bread and a whole pot of gravy. For a long time, I was careful as I could be. One time, an old woman wanted to borrow some salt, but I talked through the door, said, "No, ma'am, we all out of salt." I knew it was the Boo Hag come after me again. Scared me to my bones. But you saw how my mother caught the hag spirit in the bottle, the way she knew how. You see, she pinned it down in the bottle with that needle. And in case the hag could tear loose, she put some needles through the cork. It's known that Boo Hag can't get past some sharp needles all lined up against her. And if I should give anything to the hag voice on the other side of that door, then she might try hard to get her spirit back out that bottle. And once she had hold of her spirit, Boo Hag could slip off her skin and fly all over the place too, riding you in just the shape of her while her skin hang there behind the door. But that's how my mother caught the Boo Hag. Yes, it was. Now, mother's long in her grave. And now, Boo Hag comes back in my old age. I don't sleep so good these days. Nowadays, this young generation don't know the tricks and lack knowing the way my mother knew. Well, I know how to deal with some ghosts. With some ghosts, you just throw a hard remark at them and they vanish. But I tell you, you never have some rest. You always worry about getting weak after the hag is reading you. And I'm down so far these times. I'm feeling fearful and tired. All my days. I wish for my mother. I do. The end. Okay, so with this story today, the Boo Hag is definitely a we definitely know that means sleep paralysis in the medical field, where most people look at the Boo Hag as a actual being. You know, in the medical field, they'll just say, oh, it's a hallucination. But I've had it, and I'm pretty sure most people that are listening to this story may have experienced some form of sleep paralysis or the old hag riding you, the night hag, the nightmare. Actually, the term nightmare comes from the feeling of a demon of some sort sitting on the chest. So basically this same thing. But wow, this was a sad story though. At the same time, it was like she basically knew there was no real way to defeat the Boo Hag, even though her mother did what she could do to trap it, to delay it. But those old methods are fading away. Like she said, this new generation doesn't know the tricks. And thinking for myself, we don't know the tricks. A lot of us don't know the tricks. Some are trying to get back in tune with those old ways, those old spiritual ways and everything, and relearn the tricks. But a lot of those techniques of how to deal with certain things in life have gone to the wayside. Natural cures for things have, in a major way, gone to the wayside, and we need to bring those back. But it's a sad, sad story to me, especially the ending when she just says she basically wishes she had her mother there. And this is a woman, obviously in her, in her later years, just wishing that she had her mom to help her with the fact that this creature is coming back for her, and there's nothing she can do about it. Wow, it's sad. It's real sad to me. But like I said, in almost every culture across the world have stories of the Boo Hag, of the nightmare, of the night hag, of the red cap demon. There are so many variations on this creature that I can't say that it's false. This is one story that I would say is based on reality more so, because it is so widespread. Nightmares don't only affect one type of people or one culture of people. It affects the entire world. Everybody in this world, going back thousands of years and in thousands of years into the future, will have or have dealt with a nightmare. To what extent? You know, some have mild, some have major, but nightmares are real. The hags are real. The demons are real. No matter what we like to believe, these dreams are real, and we have to deal with that. Wow. Okay. Until next time. Thank you. Thank you for your time. You can find us on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or iTunes, or wherever you may listen to podcasts. You may also find us on Instagram and Facebook at AfroTalesPodcast, all one word, or on Twitter at AfroTalesCast. Please share, comment, like, leave a rating so others may find us just as you have. Again, I'm Aman Mazingo. This is Afro Tales Podcast, and until next time, have a great day.